Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been before. Thanks for coming. So today I'm hoping to do a fun tag, and this is a tag that kind of brings together the content from the two YouTube channels that I've got. So my other channel is a doll channel and this channel is a tarot channel, or vice versa, depending if I'm posting this on my doll channel or my tarot channel. So and I've seen a tag going around called Playing Barbies with My Decks. Tammy Pie did it, and I went back and watched the original creator content as well, and there's been a few people who've done the tag, and it's really fun. Basically the idea is to pair dolls with decks. So that's what I've done. I've got a few of my dolls out and I'm going to do some deck pairings. So without any further ado, I'm going to start with this Barbie. I'm going to start with this Monster High doll. So this is Venus McFlytrap. She's pretty cool. She's quite a new one to my collection. I bought a couple of Monster High dolls. I've got Dracula and Twyla as well, but I really like this one. I like her pink and green dreads, they're very cool. So I'm pairing her with Sweet Forager's Tarot. So yeah, she's a plant monster, and why I thought Sweet Foragers is a good idea. First of all, there's a lot of green and pink there. You can see the green edges and the pinks in the deck. And then you've also got some alien characters in here with green skin, like Venus McFlytrap. If I can get to one or two. Look, it's going to focus on my dolls instead of my decks today. The camera always focuses on eyes, so you have to be a bit careful. There you go. Looks a bit like Venus McFlytrap, I think. So yeah, I am pairing the Sweet Foragers with Venus McFlytrap from Monster High. I love this deck actually, it's so cute. Yeah, the Monster High series, they have quite a really good range of dolls actually, with lots of articulation in the arms and legs, so that makes them quite fun for like posing and things like that. So it's a good playline series if you're looking for cheap dolls to pick up, with interesting style dolls as well. Okay, the second one I wanted to show you is this is a doll that I modded. So how much can you see? Let's see. This is a crow. So I made the head from resin, and I put the head onto a Barbie body, and then I painted the arms. It's like a cheap Barbie, not a real Barbie. I gave the crow some feathers around the neck, or some fluff at any rate, and then I also gave them crow feet. And then I made some clothes and turned the crow into a magician. So with some feathers dangling, found feathers, and then a cloak as well, a sort of magic cloak. I don't know how well you can see any of this. There we go. So that is my, let me put her up properly, crow magician. And I'm going to pair the magician with my, let's see, you can see the crow better there. I'm going to pair my crow magician with the Curious Creatures Tarot, and you'll see straight away why. There is the High Priestess, which is a crow magician. I didn't base my crow on the Curious Creatures Tarot, but there do seem to be some interesting crossovers in my dolls and decks, so maybe subconsciously I've been doing it all along. So yeah, Curious Creatures is anthropomorphic animals, so animal heads on human bodies, and it's a brilliant deck. It's by Chris Ann. The guidebook is really, really useful. I get very clear readings from this deck and I love it. And anyway, I make dolls with animal heads on human bodies, so I was bound to enjoy this tarot. But yeah, the main card that made me choose this deck for that doll was the High Priestess. There we go. My Crow Magician. Cool. Okay. Yeah, highly recommend the Curious Creatures deck. Alright. So, doll number 3 is another doll that I've modded. So for this one, I took also like not a real Barbie, like a fake Barbie body. I get most of these secondhand, or if my daughter breaks them, then I take them over and turn them into other things. So yeah, in this case, I put some, what's it called? Not Mod Podge, but anyway, I made some goat horns and attached them to her head and painted them, and then I painted the makeup on her face and the tattoos on her arms and body. There was another tattoo. Oh, that's right. There's a tattoo there. Hold on. I made the clothes as well, but she's got a labyrinth on her stomach. So she is a goddess of sorts, some kind of goddess. And for this doll, I'm pairing her with The Old Ways Oracle by Naomi Cornock, I want to say. Naomi Cornock. So this is an indie deck. I think still readily available in the UK, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And in this case, I actually did base the makeup on the doll. I used Naomi's deck as a reference, so there is one of the images of the face painting that I used to do the doll design. And you can see the spirals on her neck, on her arms, and the labyrinth on her tummy. But yeah, that's her basically. But you can see some differences. So obviously this goddess figure in Naomi's work has like deer antlers, and I want to do another mod and develop some deer antlers. It's just quite hard to make them and make them stable on a Barbie head. But yeah, I do have ideas for some more goddess mods on Barbie bodies. But yeah, I mean, this deck itself is just absolutely gorgeous, and it's that kind of yeah, sort of old magic feeling which I was trying to get with the doll mod as well. These beautiful cards. There's another one. Yeah, that was one that I wanted to do a mod. Oh, I did do a mod, but I didn't like what it did to the face, so I actually took the mod off and then started again. That was with a different doll. Yeah, that's another design that I'd like to do on a doll in terms of painting the face painting and so on. Oh, it's looking at faces in the background. There we go. Always tricky when you've got toys in the background, the camera automatically wants to focus on their faces. pot. Yeah, and there's quite a few of these beautiful kind of goddess cards. Some of them quite dark images. There's one called Omen, I think, which is absolutely amazing. Let's see if we can find it. Oh yeah, there. Get that one. That'd make an amazing doll. There. So yeah, that is Old Ways Oracle by Naomi Cornock, and in the case of that one, I based the doll on the imagery. So I want to show you this doll. So this is my biggest doll, and you can't see the top of his head. His name's Berg, and he is my only 1/4 size resin doll. And you get other ones, you get bigger ones, so you get 1/3 size dolls, and most of mine are 1/6, which is like Barbie size, but I have 1/6 BJDs, which are like more sturdy. But this is my only actual resin doll, and for these there's like a whole rigmarole that you have to find a seller, and then you place the order, and then you wait. I mean, for him I waited about, I think, 9 months or more than that, maybe a year, for him to arrive. And yeah, they do, they paint the faces. It's just absolutely gorgeous work, if you can see. And he has eyelashes, and yeah, they've done an absolutely beautiful job. Ooh, one of his eyes is a bit offset. Anyway. And then you go and find like outfits to fit the dolls. So this is a 1/4 Harlequin outfit, which was really what I wanted to get him for, was to design a Harlequin doll. So that is what I've done. He's got these beautiful little shoes as well with heels and everything. Yeah, I've got other outfits for him, but I really like this particular setup. Let me see if I can tilt it up a bit so we can see him alongside the deck. There we go. Okay, and the deck I'm going to pair this doll with is the Chrysalis Tarot. And the reason for that, it's actually written somewhere on the deck. So this is paintings by Holly Sierra, written by Tony Brooks. It's a few years old. I think somebody told me it's like 2014. Yeah, 2014 US Games. But there you see the reason I went for this one. There's a Harlequin on the deck, but also the whole deck is kind of themed around a kind of circus troupe. Here we go. A delightful troupe of medieval messengers join mythological and otherworld characters to whisk you away on a spiritual adventure. So the court cards in particular are kind of circus troupe characters. And this was the one that really reminded me of my Berg. So it's the Mime, Page of Spirals. But then you've also got characters like the Minstrel. She's beautiful. The Visionary. So it's this sort of troupe of, yeah, it says troupe of medieval messengers. So this sort of circus troupe kind of feel to the deck. There's the Acrobat. Yeah, it's mostly in the court cards, so that's the Page. And they're just really beautiful images as well, aren't they? The Poet. Sojourner. The Dreamer. And there's an Illusionist. And Merlin. Oh, Tennis Spirals. They're absolutely beautiful cards. Yeah, so that is why I chose this tarot to pair with my Berg. And sorry, the doll manufacturer that made Berg is called Doll Leaves, but sadly apparently they've stopped producing these BJDs now, which is a real pity because he's very, very beautiful. Okay, so that is the Chrysalis Tarot. Alright, so the next one is, so this is another mod that I did, and it's another clown kind of theme. So this was an Ariel doll, Disney doll, Ariel from the movie, what's it called? I can't remember. The Little Mermaid, of course. Yeah, so I modded her. I just did a face paint of like clown face paint, and then I added shoes, also modded on, like clown shoes, and I designed this and sewed this clown outfit and some little socks she's got on, and the ruff and everything. So she is my slightly crazy Ariel clown. And the deck I chose for this one is the Fyodor Pavlov. And again, the main reason for this is just one card in the deck. But in general, I kind of think the vibes of the deck are that, you know, that kind of black and white stark contrast. Kind of feels like the deck ought to have splashes of red in it or something. But this is the card that made me choose the deck. So the full card, obviously a beautiful female clown in the full key. So yeah, beautiful deck. It's this kind of modern Art Deco style, which isn't my favourite art style, but oh, there are splashes of red in here, look at that. But yeah, just a very interesting deck with diverse representation of gender particularly, and other, you know, body shape and ethnicity and so on. So yeah, I really enjoy this deck. I haven't done a deep dive, but one day I plan to. But yeah, that is the Fyodor Pavlov, paired with my Ariel the Clown, Ariel the Doll Clown mod. There we go. Okay. My next doll that I'm going to talk about is this little one. This is a Forest Witch, and I got this doll as a blank BJD body. She's a 1.6 body, and it's by a company called Lucky Doll, and they ship from a company called PeekabooRose who sell dolls, like particularly blind box BJDs, but other types of BJD doll, and they sell from China, actually from Hong Kong I think. But yeah, then you buy separately, you buy like the wig and the clothes and everything, and you put together whatever kind of doll you desire. So I turned her, so this was the one that I originally painted up as a kind of goddess with that crazy face paint like in the Naomi Kornok deck, but then I decided she was too pretty for that, so then I turned her into a little forest witch. So she's got this nice little dress and a little cardi underneath with embroidery and this necklace, yeah, and I've given her this long, very long purple wig. You know, all of these things you can remove the wig and whatever, and then I got her these cute little boots and the leather boots. Yeah, and she's got this great forest witch hat. So she is my forest witch, and she goes with the Forest of Enchantment deck. Which is an old favourite of mine now. Not that old, but it's a favourite of mine. Oh, we're starting with the Black Shook, which is the death card. There you go, there's a forest witch that she can be compared with. There's another couple of cards in here that made me think of her. So that's the Wise Woman, that's High Priestess equivalent. But yeah, she's very much in this kind of forest. Oh, sorry for the glare. Forest kind of. There, that was the other one that I thought she looked a little bit like. The Nine of Brooms. Another nice little witch. Living in the forest. Or even this one. I want to repaint her face actually. So I did the face paint myself, but it can be, you know, you can just wipe it off and start again. I haven't sealed it or anything, so. I want to make her eyelashes a little bit clearer. There's another one. Yeah. So that is my Forest Witch paired with the Forest of Enchantment by Linnea Weatherstone, I believe. And the artist is, I'll put it up on the screen. So my 7th pairing is this girl here, and she's my 2nd biggest doll. So let me just tilt back a bit again. So you can see she's a little bit smaller than the Berg. He is a 1/4 and she's a 1/5, so she's just a slightly smaller proportion doll. And this one is by a company called UF Doll, and they sell these on PeekabooRose as blank bodies. So you can buy the body, and then again you can, you know, add wigs. I buy my wigs off places like AliExpress, like cheap, you know, online sellers. And the dresses and things like that you can get like grab bags, or you can choose what you want them to look like. So this was a deck I got this was a dress I got in a grab bag, but I think it kind of suits her. It's got this nice hoodie thing at the back. So yeah, I find she's quite elegant, and she's got this sort of slightly ethereal from, you know, like the manga style face, and she came with the face painting. I didn't do that, but I added the eyes and everything. So yeah, I want to pair her with the Tarot of Mystical Moments. I don't have a kind of anime style deck, because otherwise I think that would be kind of an obvious pairing. I'm looking for one actually, but I do not have one at the moment. But this Tarot of Mystical Moments, there's these sort of also ethereal, kind of beautiful women in it, and then the clothing as well, this kind of elegant clothing style, something slightly old-fashioned, you know. So that was what I was going for with the pairing. Let's see if we can find some images that match. Not quite. Maybe the little Alice kind of girl in the tree there with that blue dress on. She's also wearing a blue dress. Maybe something like that. Just need to add a hat. But yeah, this sort of slightly old-fashioned, elegant dress kind of style. And I think even, you know, the image on the box kind of recalls the same visuals. So that is Tarot of Mystical Moments with UF Doll from, bought from PeekabooRose. Okay, just 3 more that I wanted to share. So this little guy. Where is he? This is one of my favourite dolls at the moment. So this is a little hare that I made. So similar to the crow, I got a BJD body, and then I added a head that I made and painted in the design of a hare. So yeah, this is my little hare gentleman. I want to add a tail. That's the only thing that's missing at the moment. He's got his little book as well. There you go. So I wanted to pair my little hare with the Anima Tarot de Marseille. I've spoken about this a couple of times recently. It's a lovely deck. And it has also, like Curious Creatures, it has animal heads on human bodies. And in this case, it's in the Marseille style. So it follows a Marseille pattern quite closely, in fact, other than the fact that all of the humans are animals, which is really nice. It's all hand painted by a team in India, and there's a snake. The Queen of Wands is a lion, and this was the one that made me think of this deck for my hair. So the Magician is either a hare or a rabbit. It's quite hard to tell if that's a hare or a rabbit, but I'm going to say it's a hare. And he's got a lovely little flower on his magician's table. Look at his lovely shoes. See? I think he must be a hare. Look at those long legs. So yeah, this is the Anima Marseille with my little BJD hair. The next one is something slightly different. This is a beautiful horned fox plush. Let's just tilt it up a bit. Made by a company called Gift of Mercury. I think they're in Russia, and it's absolutely amazing. Look at that. It's got a skeleton, like an internal skeleton, so you can pose it in all sorts of amazing ways. Let's sit him down. And the eyes are just, look at those eye chips, absolutely beautiful. So I've got this one, I've got another one as well, a bat cat, and they're just my favourite my favourite plushes ever. I've actually recently realised that these two go very well together. It's like her familiar. That's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I'm going to pair the horned fox with the forest fae, and this is like a little, it's gone everywhere. This is a little kind of oracle deck with lots of tiny little fairies and cute little animals, and I think the vibe is quite similar. Yeah, with the horns there as well. All these kind of trolls and things. And the face painting there. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that as a pair. So the Gift of Mercury, horned forest fox, and the Forest Fae, oracle by Nadia Turner. And I think this is one of Rockpool's little decks. Yeah, very cute. Okay, and we're on to the last pair. So for this, I have to bring out the viral sensation that is a Labubu. And if you haven't heard of a Labubu, well, I'm sure there are people out there who haven't heard of Labubu, but a lot of people by now have heard of Labubu. So I've got a large Labubu. They usually come a lot smaller than this, but I got this one a while ago before Labubu became quite the sensation that she is today. It's a Labubu is a girl, and I redressed her as well. I got her in some new clothes. This I did an unboxing of this, and it's the single video that I've got that has like thousands and thousands of hits. It's ridiculous. But yeah, this Labubu has spinning eyes. It's called the Flip With Me, and I got this direct from the Pop Mart store, so it's definitely a legitimate Labubu. And yeah, that is the viral doll that everybody is talking about. Usually they come quite small. My daughter's got one small pink one this big that I got her, and we've got a couple of Lafufus, which are fake Labubus, but these are basically almost impossible to come by these days. So I wanted to pair my Labubu, and this is a bit of a stretch. I don't really have many decks with furry monsters in, but I'm going to pair Labubu with The Secrets of Wandwood, and just bear with me while I find the image that made me make that pairing. So there's, and this, sorry, it's by Jackie Lovesey and her husband Phil, I think. Where's the book? Yeah, there they are. If you haven't seen these, it's an indie deck. You can buy them from the creators in the UK, Phil and Jackie Lovesey, and they've developed this world of Matlock the hare, who lives in a magical wood called Wandwood. And so we've got images of Matlock, and then there are various kind of mystical creatures that live in the wood. I think that's Matlock's pet or familiar. See, there's some monsters, but there's a better one. There's another monster. It's a monster frog. Magical harmony. And every time you pick a card, you read the little story that goes with it, and it kind of gives you a sort of parable almost. So look, there's a kind of monstery, gives you like a little parable that explains the key word. So it's really nicely designed as an oracle. And if you draw it again, then you kind of remember the story behind it. There we go, that was the card. So this is, the card is called C. And I'm going to just leave that with Labubu for a second while I open the book. It's alphabetical order. C. So they're called shadow creepers, but it's actually not even the little furry guys at the front that made me think of Labubu as much as the furry wolf at the back. Look at his teeth. And it's that and Labubu's teeth, I thought went quite nicely together. Yeah, so anyway, they're called shadow creepers, but I think the little monster in the back is quite Labubu-like. So that's why I've made the match between the Secrets of Wandwood and my Labubu. So that's it. Those are the pairings between dolls and decks that I wanted to share with you today. Yeah, so thanks very much for watching. Thanks to, I think the original channel was Candy Soul and Soil who started the tag. And thanks very much for this fun tag. And yeah, and as I said, I saw on Tammy Pie, she did a version of it, and a few other people have shared it, so it'll be great to see other people's weird toy collections and how they might pair those with decks. And yeah, oh dear, there we go. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye.